Let's go, it's the Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show.
Which one, old man, that ain't got time? Shake your hand. Get that side check. Put it in pockets like it's back. Going downtown.
If you've been around since the good old days of 2008, I think so, that's when Uncharted 1 came out, you would know that Uncharted, the series, has been probably one of the best series I've ever played in my entire life. I especially enjoyed 2 and 3. And 1, while very charming and fun, definitely upgraded as it went along. So now we got Uncharted 4, basically the swan song in this saga of beautiful games. And they want to end it with a bang, or maybe they want to end it with a beautiful little whisper. Doesn't make sense. Who cares? Let's go. What is Uncharted 4 and what it's about? It's basically Drake on one more final adventure to save his long-lost brother that you didn't even know about till this game, but you think he is dead, but maybe he's not, and then he comes back, and then you gotta save him, but things get complicated. Let's find out if this game is worth playing, or if it's just really a cash grab. Let's go.
Which one, old man, that ain't got time? Shake your hand. Get that side check. Put it in pockets like it's back. Going downtown.
Listen, we got Nathan Drake, and he's one of the most handsome, one of the most charming, and one of the most badass guys around, and his brother is in trouble. And what are we going to do when Sam is in trouble? That's Drake's brother, by the way. We're going to rescue him. So the story is pretty simple. Sam comes back from the dead, not literally, he's not walking dead, but he comes back from the dead as alive, and he needs Drake's help, and you know you can't say no to your brother unless you hate that motherfucker, and Drake never really hated his brother, so he's going to go and help him out. And this brings Drake back in to the life of treasure hunting. The story is pretty good, mostly because the cast itself is really good. The voice acting, once again, is phenomenal. Top tier, some of the best around, and feels very natural. And while I wish more for the story, and I'll get more to that later, the characters' interactions with each other are beautifully done, and they feel real, and that's something that not every game has the pleasure of having in it, because most games feel very forced in the voice acting, and this feels beautifully done. Another thing is the graphics. Let's get this out of the way because they are fucking phenomenal. I mean, these graphics are some of the best I've ever seen. In Quantum Break review, I said that these graphics are pretty damn good, especially the environments. But this game just is even more stunning than I could ever even imagine. Especially the waterfalls and the jungles and all the little details to all the buildings and all the details to the people. It just looks great. This game looks fabulous is the only word I can really think of. Another thing, and this is a big plus for me, is this game's set pieces are fucking fantastic. Now, I reviewed and enjoyed Rise of the Tomb Raider, and it was very well done, but I thought the set pieces were lacking. And in this, Uncharted just, man, it blew up for me. It was just so good. Whereas 3 had the most grand, and 2 had the most wrenching, oh my god, heart racing moments. This game mixed the two. There's some epic moments of unbelievable things happening, and then there's moments where they're smaller in scope, but oh my god, they get your heart racing. So really, this game combines the best of the 2 and 3's set pieces and does it so damn well. And the last thing I gotta bring up, and this is one other feature I really like, is the fact that they have this game at a much longer period than I thought it was going to be. That makes no sense. This is why I should write shit out, but I don't have time today. This game is longer than I expected. What I expected was an 8-hour game, just like Uncharted 2, just like Uncharted 1, just like Uncharted 3, and what I got was almost a 15-hour game, give or take, you know, a little bit more hours for just standing around when I'm doing other stuff. But overall, this game is very, very much better, or I don't want to say better, but bigger than the previous games. They have open world sections, kind of like little hub worlds that you can look around and find treasure and drive around and stuff. So this game offers a bigger scope in terms of content for your bang for your buck, as they say in the old cowboy days. They don't even say, I don't know why I'm saying that. So let's move on to the bad. Listen, Uncharted's been around since I was in my teens. I'm not even kidding. I think I was 19 when it came out, the first one. And so this series means a lot to me. It's a great series. So when I picked up 4, I was expecting greatness. And did I get that? Not so much, because there are things that I felt really kind of drag in this game. One, the pacing is very off-put sometimes. You'll be starting off very slow in this game. Now, I love story-driven moments, so it did have those moments in the first, 10 chapters, 12 chapters, but oh my god, there were moments where I was just so bored out of my mind of climbing or finding a treasure or a puzzle doing, and it was just not for me. It just didn't have that gripping moment in the beginning. However, it does pick up pace as it goes along. However, it then falls back to slow moments, and that's good to have fast and slow, but not so slow that I'm getting bored. That's not good. Another thing is the gameplay is starting to feel boring, and this is something that's opposite of Rise of the Tomb Raider. As I said in my Rise of the Tomb Raider review, the set pieces weren't nearly as memorable or fun, but the gameplay itself improved and made it even more fun than the previous Tomb Raider. And the reason why I'm comparing is a great example of Tomb Raider improving its gameplay, but its story and cinematic approach lessened for me. And in this game, the cinematic and the ultimate set pieces were amazing, but the gameplay itself is starting to suffer. It is very standard shooting, it is very standard behind covers, and it doesn't always work that well behind the cover system, and that's a problem for me. So the game was dragging because of the pacing at some parts, and it was also dragging because the firefights aren't all that spectacular. There's moments that you could definitely pull off that look great, like swinging and slamming your fists into people and knocking them out, but then the rest of the firefights are just what they are in all the other ones. Shooting, and it kind of gets boring when you're on the 4th game, so that really hurt it for me in terms of the gameplay. And last but not least is the story. The story itself is never amazing in Uncharted, but I was always pretty captivated by going on these adventures to get the gold, right? And they always had great human moments, and this game contains the human moments, but it doesn't contain the story overall that was interesting. I can't even honestly remember what I liked or did for this story. Like the treasure part of it, the history, I wasn't that invested, and that's not good because I was invested in 1, 2, and 3's story and characters. And the story was just like a backdrop, a boring backdrop, where it's the character interactions when you get down to the human gritty moments are perfect. So that's not good. You need to have both. Just like all the Uncharted games had before it, this game lacked the main central story of the adventure of hunting the treasure.
Waits for no man that ain't got to shake your hand. Get that side check, put it in pockets like it's black. Going downtown.
Sitting here and thinking two things. One, you think I'm gonna unsubscribe to you because I fucking hate you. You don't love Uncharted. You're not giving it a 10 like all the others, and I want you to die. And that's your opinion. You can leave. Goodbye. But the person who's sitting there like, man, does he hate this game? Absolutely not. This is a great game still. Yes, the story, not that great, but the characters are. The gameplay could get boring, but the set pieces are phenomenal. You see what I'm saying here? And the pacing, while it could get boring at times when you're walking through this scenery, through this atmosphere, through this moment, oh my god, it is stunning and breathtaking. It is almost real. So, I mean, there are good and bad, and it's a very balanced game. But the goods totally outweigh the bads in the end. The bads are kind of annoying, but they don't drag it down too much. It's not going to be a 5 out of 10 game. That's ridiculous. But at the same time, while it's great, it just didn't have that amazing moments that 2 had, or that grand epic scale that 3 had in its set pieces at times that